Welcome back, everybody. As you probably guessed from the title of the video, we are doing some homemade body armor testing today. That said, there's a lot of prefacing I'm going to do in this video that typically I don't do. So first off, this idea came from a viewer after some previous homemade body armor testing that we did. Basically, can you buy it on Amazon for under 50 bucks and have it stop bullets? That's where this came from. So what we did here is we used a welder's blanket and then some resin to just put the pieces together. You guys are probably seeing the footage, or maybe you saw it in the intro. And when I posted this video, the footage of me putting it together, a bunch of people said, oh, you watched this guy's video, which I didn't, and I should have. So I went and watched it after I saw all those social media content, or comments rather, and his video is a way better idea than mine, but I didn't have that going into it. This was just off the top of my head. So basically what I did is I put these pieces together, painted on the resin and the moly, epoxy rather, and waited for it to dry. What he did, which was smart, smarter than me, was put clamps on them, so that way it pushed all the resin out, so that way he had full resin capture all the way to the edges. Much smarter than what I did. Additionally, I used 9 different pieces. I think he used more than that, and he used like an armor plate as a like a way to get the shape. You know, you can build in a curve, all that stuff when you do that. I didn't do that, but I did lay it on a cardboard box to dry, and that's why it's got cardboard on it, as you see there. But I did intentionally put a curve to it for that reason. I was going to cut it in the shape of body armor, but I really didn't figure to do that because I didn't have all of the epoxy go all the way to the edges like I would have if I clamped it. That was a smart idea. Anyway, what we have here is just my redneck idea I had in my garage of body armor. Again, 9 different welding layers, welding blanket layers, and some epoxy. I would imagine we're going to have our best performance in the middle because, again, all of it didn't go to the edges. And then when I went to go cut it, if you don't know, if you try this at home, you definitely want to wear some sort of respiratory mask because this stuff can be a little bit nasty breathing it in. But when I went to cut it, right before coming out here just now, some of it kind of came apart, the seal, if you will, on it. And again, I imagine that would be not the case if I had clamped it together. That, again, smart idea by that guy. But regardless, I think it's going to stop some stuff. It's pretty lightweight. I'd be surprised if it weighs 2 pounds. And I genuinely think after the Kevlar test that we did probably 6 months ago, that it's going to stop some stuff. Because in that Kevlar test, if you guys watched it, there was no epoxy at all, just layers of Kevlar, and it stopped bullets. So I think with the epoxy, bonding it all together, it'll do something, but we're going to find out. It's not Kevlar though, so I intentionally didn't use Kevlar to see. And screw it. Let's go. Try it. All right, we've got the armor downrange at about 8 yards. And first up, some 40 grain Remington 22 out of the 322. See how that does. Let's check it out. Just for you guys wondering, I am wearing a glove because the edges are very sharp. But we had our 2 entrance holes there with the 22. Absolutely no exit holes. I made this plate to be concave, to be like this, so this would be the impact side, but you can't see it with all the cardboard that got stuck to it. Didn't think of that one. Anyway, had I watched that guy's video, it'd be better. But regardless, we're gonna keep going. Next round up is going to be some 158 grain 38 special out of an LCR. I made it jump. As y'all already saw there, the slow motion, we hit on the edge. And as I indicated earlier, not all of that has the resin on there, but still did not pass through. I was kind of going for here. It was a bad shot by me. But yeah, hit it. And I don't know where it stopped, but it definitely stopped in there. Absolutely no pass through. Let's keep going. Up next, we have some 115 grain Minuteman munitions. 115 grains is one of the harder 9mm rounds to stop, especially a full metal jacket, because of the speed coming out of the AREX Delta. So we'll find out. Let's see. So we had our 9mm go in right on there, and it barely went through, just barely. I bet it's in the memory foam of that pillow back there. But regardless, it did go through, which is interesting. I'm gonna try that one more time and just see if we can hit a different spot where the resin's a little bit more cured and see if that'll stop it. Again, everything is the exact same, just trying for a different spot to see if that's repeatable. Let's see. As y'all saw from the slow-mo there was our entrance, and it did come out the back. Once again, though, it's barely coming out the back. Like I said, I probably should have used more layers if knowing what I know now after watching the other test. But anyway, we're gonna keep going. I think it's gonna stop some other stuff. Next round up is gonna be some 185 grain, 45 ACP, jacketed hollow points, which matters. And this one here is gonna be coming out of my UMP barrel. So it's a longer barrel, so it's a hot 45 round. I have some 230 grain ball as well that we'll hopefully get to. Let's see. So interesting results there. Obviously we had our impact and it did come out the back, but it literally is sitting in the pillow. I can see it when I pulled it off. So it almost stopped it. Let's see how it does with the ball. As promised, 230 grain ball, 45 ACP, going nice and slow, even out of this barrel. We'll see. You guys saw another 45 rolled through there and it went through. These tests are disappointing me. You're disappointed in me. Anyway, okay, keep going. Next load up is some double aught buck coming out of my 14-inch SBS. So we'll see. One way to find out. Obviously, y'all can see the pattern there, and it looks like they all went through, but in every instance so far, it looks like they are barely going through. Like again, 9 layers here. I'd be willing to bet if it was 14 or 15, a lot of these would be stopped. And here we have 147 grain Winchester hollow point, and we're gonna see how that does, going a little bit slower, see if it'll stop that, and it's also a hollow point, which may help. Let's see. As y'all saw there from the slow-mo, that was our 147 grainer, and again, barely made it through. So this video did not go at all as I expected it to go. I brought out 5.7, I brought out Subsonic 300 Blackout because I thought it was going to stop everything. I genuinely did, especially after watching the other fellows. I can't think of his name and I don't have a service here to look it up. But especially after watching his video though, again, he used a better system and used more layers, which no doubt makes perfect sense from what I'm seeing here. These are barely getting through. You can tell it's ripping, it's tearing. They're not punching straight through. Again, if I doubled it to 18, I'd be willing to bet it would stop all these rounds. But I didn't, and that's how we learn. But regardless, it does stop 22. It does stop 38 special just fine. So it's better than nothing, but it's not good. It didn't do what we wanted it to do. And I've got a couple ideas. Let me know what you think. So I can either redo this with the Kevlar that we know already works without the epoxy. And that's not that expensive either. I was trying to keep everything like under $50. So links for all this stuff will be down below in the video description. And this one I think was like $35. So we can either do the exact same thing with the epoxy and actually make sure it's even this time, and do that with the Kevlar, which I think should totally work because it worked without the epoxy, so that should only make it better. In theory, who knows? We can do that. We can add some tile to this one here to break up the bullets, which totally could work. I have no idea, but it's entirely possible. Some ceramic tile, just to initially break them up and then have it get caught there and try that way. That would be very easy and inexpensive. Or we can just do like 18 layers. I'm genuinely interested in your comments. For the first couple days after this video posts, I will be down there reading all of them. Let me know what you'd like to see. If you have a totally different idea, I'm game for that as well. But I think homemade body armor is becoming a more and more relevant thing every day. As much as it shouldn't be, it is. And you know, finding ways to do that is a good thing. So already many of you guys live in states where you can't buy body armor. So having the ability to make it yourself is important. So those are options that we have there. You can see some of these bullets are already tearing apart there. So we're close to stopping all of these guys. And again, it's very lightweight, it's moldable. You could absolutely put this in a chest rig if you cut it down to size. I did use a Sawzall, if anybody's asking, to cut it. But yeah, it's very simple to make, no doubt about it. And I think a couple more layers would have done a lot. But I didn't do it, I didn't know. That's how we learn. And the testing and experimentation will continue. Again, let me know down below what you guys want to see. I'm genuinely curious. With that, if you like this type of video, we do a lot of armor testing, both commercially built and homemade here on the channel. Hit the subscribe button. Follow me on the various social media outlets that you see here on your screen. If you've done that and you're still not seeing 2 to 4 videos a week here on the channel, definitely sign up for the email at the website on the screen here. This email goes out once a month only, and it has all of the videos since the previous month's email in it. And that way there's not a big tech giant censoring your eyes from my content. And additionally, if things go on sale, real armor, stuff to make armor, guns, optics, ammo, etc., if they go on sale, it'll go out in my daily deals email. That email goes out every day as the name indicates, and it has 6 or 7 of the best deals around the internet that I find. If it's in that email, it's the cheapest I know of anywhere at that time, so it saves you guys some time and some money because I've already done the price comparisons for you, and the deals are pretty darn good. And with that, we'll close the video out. I want to say this is a failure. I feel like it was a failure, but I don't think it was, honestly. I think it was a learning experience, and we'll learn and get better, but it'll stop 22 and 38 special. We know that. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate it. I look forward to seeing everybody in the next video.